So let's talk about this just a second. We have an income of $5,000 that we're going to be talking about. The cash flow is $1,500. And how do we get cash flow? Do I need to go over that? Because I keep getting questions about that as well. What is cash flow? Okay, if I have gas that I have to put in my car every month of $200, and I have an electric bill, and that's $200, and I buy food, and that's $200, that would be $600 in expenses that I have every single month. So if I have income of $1,000 a month, my expenses come out of that, that will leave me $400 a month in cash flow. Cash flow is what you have left over after you have deducted every expense you have in a month out of your income. Now, if you have tithe, like I have tithe, let's say you paid $200 a month in your tithe, then that would mean you have $800 in expenses every month, comes out of your $1,000, which means now you have $200 cash flow. Okay, I hope that makes sense to everybody, because I really want people to understand where that cash flow comes from and how we get it. And you can increase it by reducing your expenses. I don't teach frugality on this channel because I feel like Dave Ramsey does enough of that for all of us. And if you want frugality, if you want beans and rice, if you want to talk about Congress overspending, which I agree with him, you need to go to Dave Ramsey, because he can teach you how to save money and how to put your extra payments on your loans. It was just taking me 55 years to clean my debt up by doing that. When I learned about velocity banking, I got my debt cleaned up in less than a year, and that's what I'm hoping that these videos will do for you. Dave Ramsey is not teaching a wrong method. He's just teaching a 1960s method that is very, very slow, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you are a spender and you cannot control how you spend your money on your credit card, or, you know, when it's deposited into the bank, then you need to go with Dave Ramsey, because he does teach frugality. He teaches you how to stop spending. And that just wasn't for me. I'm not a hater. I mean, I really appreciate him, and I think he's a really good man, but I can't do finances that way. I felt like that I was suffocating, and every time I wanted something or I wanted to go out and eat, I thought, oh, I can't do that because I'm a sinner and I have to clean up my mess, you know? And I mean, it was just like when I learned about velocity banking, it took that chain of debt you have wrapped around your neck, or that stressor that you have that you can never spend money, or you can never, you know, buy a new pair of shoes or whatever. It takes that off. It lets you relax a little bit. It sets you up on a strategy. So now you can go to work, focus on your income, focus on your family, and let your debt slowly pay down. Okay, so let's talk about the $10,000 credit card balance. This will work no matter what your cash flow is. I am just showing here that by the time he pays his expenses are going to be $2,000. Now, let me go over that a little bit. This person has a $5,000 income. The $1,500 up here that you see expenses in bank, that means you have to leave your mortgage payments, your car payments, stuff like that, that has to be paid with cash through your checking account. You will have to leave that money in the bank. So let's say they have $1,000 for rent and then $500 for a car. I don't know what exactly it is, but let's say that they have to have $1,500 to pay these two debts out of their checking account. So this is going to stay in the bank for the rent and the car. Now, there's $2,000 in living expenses. That is their food. Remember what I said? Their gas, their utilities, subscriptions, karate class, medical bills, whatever other expenses that you have that you can pay with a credit card. That's what this $2,000 is going to be in this scenario that I'm getting ready to show you here. So the $2,000 that can be paid on a credit card will go onto the credit card. Then the $1,500 that was in cash flow will also be deposited into the credit card every month. So we're going to show the $5,000 income. We're going to show that $1,500 is going to stay in the bank. Then we're going to show that $2,000 plus $1,500, which is the expenses plus the cash flow, is going to go onto the credit card, okay? And that will zero out the $5,000. Notice none of the $5,000 is going to go into a savings account, and it's not going to go sit in the bank. It's going to go work in the bank because you have payments to pay. There are ways to pay through credit cards, but Simplistic says leave the cash in the bank and deposit everything else that you have to have into the card. That is what I'm getting ready to show you. This is why we do that. This is why we do it. So let's start. We have a $10,000 credit card balance right here. It's $7.67 per day is being charged on this card at 30%, okay? So like I was saying earlier, the credit card interest rates are going up. I think the feds announced they're going to be raising that again. So as many times as they do that, the higher the interest goes on these cards. So I figured this at 30%. So it's $7.67 per day in interest. Now, with this scenario right here, where we're going to be taking $3,500 per month, transferring it into this credit card, then we're going to pull $2,000 a month out in expenses. So that's the way, this is how this will go. You have a $10,000 balance. Today's payday. You're going to put in $3,500. Please excuse my graph ability because I am not a grapher. Is that a word? So be patient with me. Okay, so when we deposit the $3,500, we now have a $6,500 balance, right? Because we put $3,500 in and it brought that balance down to $6,500. Now, what did that do to the interest rate? Because it was $7.67 right here. $4.78 a day now in interest. So do you see how it dropped it $3, almost $3 just in one deposit? Okay, so in one deposit, $3,500 dropped this interest rate down $3 a day. Now your expenses of $2,000 is going to have to come back out, right? So throughout the month, it slowly comes out. Now your balance is back up to $8,500. All right, so now we're at 8,500, 10,000. I mean, you see the balance has already come down. This is just your first month's deposits. You didn't get frugal. You just put your money where it serves you. So it's knocked the interest down here. But with this, you're back up to $6.52 a day. Now, this is 30% interest, remember? Month 2, you're going to come in and you're going to make another deposit, $3,500. Oh, looky there. Where are we at now? $5,000 balance. We've already knocked this thing down half, and we're not doing anything, just putting our income in, pulling our expenses out. So at the $5,000 rate, we're paying $3.83 a day in interest as long as it sits there. That's what's nice about the revolving line of credit. Really going to pay the $7.67 a day. This is if you leave that $10,000 balance sitting there for the whole year, okay? For the whole year. We're not going to be leaving it sitting there at all after you learn this method and you get paid tomorrow. You're going to know, hey, I'm throwing my income into that card and I am knocking it way down, okay? So let's review. $10,000 balance, you throw your $3,500, which is your cash flow and your expenses you can pay with a credit card, onto the card, knocks the balance down to $6,500. Your expenses of $2,000 slowly come back out. Now, remember, you might buy food here. You might buy gas here. You might pay your cable bill here. Maybe you pay your rent here. No, not your rent. I'm sorry, we left the rent out. Pay your cable, pay your subscriptions, pay your dog food, pay diapers, whatever you need throughout the month. We'll slowly start building this balance back up to where that if it gets built up before you get your next paycheck, it'll be at $8,500, okay? Then you're going to make another $3,500 deposit or transfer into the card, bringing the balance to $5,000. Guess what? It's slowly going to be working its way back up again through the month. And looky here, our balance now is at $7,000. We have $2,000 in expenses. This is the worst graph you all have ever seen, and I know it. Please, I'm not an artist. Okay, back to where we were. So you're buying your food, your gas, paying your electric, paying your subscriptions, paying for your taekwondo class, maybe your karate class, getting your nails done, getting your hair cut. See, it's slowly moving back up. We're going to be at $7,000. We're going to pay $5.36 a day in interest. here. What happens now? What's going to happen? Watch this. You're going to make another $3,500 deposit. And look at that. Your account is going to be at $3,500 balance. Isn't that beautiful the way this works? I mean, does it get any easier? Because you're not eating out. You're not on, eating spaghetti every night with nothing but butter or vinegar or something. You're literally living your life, enjoying your life while you're doing nothing but paying down your credit card. Now, in the 3,500, we have a $2.68 a day interest charge. Now we got to go in and watch our expenses come back out again. Here we are at $5,000. We know the interest is $383 here. No, I'm sorry. This is $2,000 in expenses. Sorry about that. So we're at $5,500, right? What happens now when we're back up with our expenses? Let me say this again. You're paying for your dog food. You're paying for your light bill, your cable bill, your food, your gas, your water. It's slowly building back up to $5,500, which is $4.21 a day. Now we're going to make another deposit of $3,500. What? We're all the way down to what? $2,000? We're at $2,000. We're only paying $1.53 a day in interest. Isn't that, can I get like a high five, hands up, like praise hands, something? Because this is how the game is played. And it's oh so simple, and it's so freeing to get this junk off of you. So we're going to go in here and we're going to pay our expenses again, which will only take us back up to $4,000. So if we're at $4,000, we're paying $306 in interest a day. And oh my goodness, do you see what we're getting ready to do? We're going to make another $3,500 deposit, and look, we are at $500 balance. How long did that take us? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. 5 months. And you took a $10,000 balance to $500. And I could run around the room right now in excitement, and it's not even my debt. I listen to Dave Ramsey sometimes because I think he's very interesting. And he had a lady on. I wish I could talk to her because she had 4 children at home. Her husband made $83,000 a year, great income, and their debt came to $80,000. And they had a HELOC with a $40,000 balance. And I literally was like, give me her information. And because he was telling her, 3 years, it's going to take you 3 years, and you're all not going to be able to do anything. Nothing. And they had already started being frugal, and she said their kids were feeling it, and all this stuff. And sometimes when I listen to him, I get so overwhelmed because I would love to just hug those people that he's talking down to and say, hold on, because there's a way out of this. There's a way out, and it's not going to be difficult, and you're still going to be able to eat, and you're still going to be able to keep your cars. Just hang with me here. But wow, yes, Dave hates credit cards no matter what. And I understand if you're out of control and you have a spending problem, don't use credit cards. Totally not your thing. But if you want to get out of debt, if you've had it up to here with debt, this is the way out. After you get done with this card in 5 months, you turn around, put all of your expenses on your next card, do the same thing. So literally in 10 months, you could have $20,000 in debt paid off, $20,000. And this person only had a $5,000 income. So if you have anything over $5,000 and you just halfway watch your expenses, you're in great shape. Okay. I just appreciate you all so much for joining me. Like I say in every video, it is a pleasure doing this, giving my time to help you all any way I can. If you ever need me to look at your stuff individually, go to the contact links below. I have several for different things, whatever it is you need.